If buying a house is a big decision, then finding a house for rent is not in any way smaller. Finding a right apartment to rent can impact your lifestyle tremendously. So you must know what to ask a landlord. Hi, I'm Neha Nagpal. Welcome to Property Matters. In this episode, I will tell you the top 10 questions to ask to a landlord before renting any property. It is very important to know about the reputation of the landlord you are planning to seal the deal with. You must know what people in the neighborhood has to say about the person. What does he do? What's his professional and personal background? Is he known to be a nitpicker or a gentle adjusting fellow? For more information on the person, ask the neighbors, the watchman of the building, or the owner or the staff working at the local grocery shop. You as a renter should be thoroughly aware of the lease and its terms, from where it begins to where it ends. If you do not understand some aspect or unsure about something, then you should not hesitate to ask. There should be no communication gap between you and the landlord. The lease agreement can include many things, from checking the title of the land, rent policy, how much the rent will be increased and how frequently, etc. The tenant can ask about any document related to the property before taking it up on the rent. This will also clarify you regarding the intrinsic details like basic construction, electrical appliances and water connection. There are some amenities in the rented accommodation which are usually covered in the monthly rent, while others may not be. Therefore, you must ask the landlord what is covered and what is not before signing the rent agreement. These can be charges for cable, gas and electric connections. Most of the time, the landlord pays for the water and sewer charges of the authority, and for the electricity, some landlords charge a fixed amount while some get a separate meter installed. Mostly tenants need to pay the maintenance cost to the Residential Welfare Association or the management bodies of the gated communities. So not to enter any conflict later, you must ask the landlord that who will pay the maintenance cost in addition to the monthly rent. It is important to find out what happens in the scenario of major repairs such as seepage or other civil works. And then there are many emergency repairs that will come up once you start living in the house. It can include failed electricity meter, a dysfunctional switch or a problem in a gas pipeline or a geyser. Know who would bear the cost for these. In most of the rent agreements, tenants are the other party as the property belongs to the landlord. Therefore, it becomes the landlord's responsibility. Some landlords do not even allow tenants to put a nail in the wall. But we all want to make small changes to our home as per our likings. So you must ask your landlord that whether you can make those small changes or not. This may include, can you hang things on the walls, or are you allowed to paint the walls as you want or change the tiles? If the landlord refuses to allow you to do these things, you can assure him by promising to patch up the wall holes or paint them back to the original color before you vacate it. Safety and security of your family and you should be on the priority list. Therefore, you must ask your landlord about the safety measures or the tools the property has or the neighborhood has taken. This may include a watchman, double door lock or a CCTV camera. You can also ask or research about the neighborhood safety quotient. It's good to know whether the area is safe to live or not before moving in. Guest policy varies from the landlord to the accommodation type and even to the gender of the tenant. Some landlords are casual about guests if they get the monthly rent on time, while others are very particular about it, especially when the landlord is living in the same building. Male tenants can get more leverage on guests than women. It's good to check the society or building norms about guest or visitors' timings. If you are a pet lover or own a one, then this can be one of the most important questions you must ask while renting up a property. Pets are a huge responsibility and you must know whether your pet is allowed in the society and can live freely or not. The tenant should be aware of all the rules and guidelines of the society. Societies may have also passed rules barring pets. In such cases, even the landlord's permission would not be of merit. Also, must check if there are any extra charges demanded in the case of a pet. Pet owners also need to understand that it is their responsibility to train their pets for their toilet habits. For tenants to note that housing societies cannot take any action against tenants who own pets. There is no legal basis that one cannot rent a house if one has pets. Ask your landlord if you'll get the parking spot and it is covered in the monthly rent. If it is, then it will make your life much easier, especially in the cities like Mumbai. Generally in gated community, tenants get to enjoy the parking space allotted to the landlord. In independent houses, the parking spaces are taken on the first come first get basis. Grocery shops, medical stores, gyms, saloon, vegetable market or even an electrical shop nearby your home, all these proves to be really helpful once you'll start living in your rented accommodation. Ask your landlord about the social facilities around the house you're planning to take upon rent. Can you just walk for a few meters to get groceries or you have to take your car out each time? Sometimes tenants, to pay a lesser rental amount, opt to live in a developing area which is weak in terms of social fabric. Even if you opt for a developing area to lower your rental expense, be sure that essential commodities of daily use are easily accessible. So before you finally make up your mind about the rented accommodation or the area, make sure that you have asked the right questions. And doing your homework is very important because after you sign the lease, it becomes very difficult to cancel it. So be clear on what you want and what the landlord expects. I hope you like this video. If you have any query, you can write to me on my Twitter. My Twitter handle is @NehaNagpal. You can also send in your queries in the comment section below this video as well. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook too. With cameraman Manish Sharma, this is Neha Nagpal signing off. Please subscribe to Magic Bricks on YouTube and press the bell icon to get new videos.